Alrighty.
Why do I put myself through
Oh,
this?
he got the whole squad laughing with that one. That was funny as hell.
Kenzie, you missed my really long rant on systemic racism.
Based.
It was fairly based. Hello?
Yes, sir.
What's up?
How you doing?
Pretty good. How about you?
Other than the fact it's a Monday, pretty good.
Cool. What you to talk about?
Let's talk about number one and number two.
Okay. I will warn you. You stepped into the lion's den. You have three really good pro-choice debaters here. So if you want to talk to one of us specifically, you can. I don't want you to feel dogpiled.
No, that's fine. I can address all three of you.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead. Floor is yours, my guy.
Abortion's free. Let's just take that part. Do you mean taxpayer funded?
Yeah, just like all healthcare is.
Okay. And Margaret Sanger.
Mm-hmm. What about her?
Wait. So is one done?
I guess so.
What about Margaret Sanger?
What was that?
No.
Your only contention with number one is being free?
Yeah. No, we can go back to number one.
Wait,
yeah,
before I have to go to class, do you think Margaret Sanger was pro-choice?
No. We can go back to number one. Where is any healthcare free?
All healthcare basically works. Like your healthcare right now works the way a government-funded system would work. You pay into a pot, and then other people get to use that money. That's how it would work if the government.
Yeah. So I would say either Medicaid, Medicare, or VA healthcare.
Not even that, private healthcare. Like when you pay your premiums.
Well, I mean, in terms of like government funded.
Oh, well, yeah, it's just not owned by the government. But when you pay your premiums every month, those premiums go to paying for other people's healthcare. So it'd be the same if
right. But those three agencies of the government, you can't use that type of healthcare for abortion unless it's life-saving.
Oh yes. Okay, so Medicare and Medicaid, how are they doing? Let's stick with Medicare.
Well, I think it would be Medicaid because I don't think people on Medicare need abortions.
How is? I'll agree with you. How much is the average of each state's budget that goes to Medicaid?
I don't know.
I don't know.
25%.
Okay.
So how much more?
Do you find abortion ethical?
Definitely not. No, definitely not.
Do you think that abortion is moral at any stage of the pregnancy?
I'll agree. I will agree that it's a states' rights issue per the Constitution, but no.
That's not what I asked.
I answered both questions, but no.
Do you think if a person wants an abortion that they should have it done as soon as possible versus having it done later in pregnancy?
Yes, that would fall definitely underneath the 10th Amendment, yes.
So that's why we should make them free, is because with these kind of government interference, it creates hurdles.
Again, it's not free.
It's free to the consumer.
Taxpayer
funded. It's free at the point of. But hold on.
Yeah.
So and
free
by the way,
point of service.
Part of what I was trying to say is that like all insurance is funded by the people. So like there's no difference from what your insurance already does now to what we would want to implement.
Except for the government taxpayer-funded insurance is broke.
What would be the
difference? Do you think that veterans should get? Do you think that veterans should get private health insurance?
No, they serve. They earn something. Are you comparing?
Well, you just said the government healthcare system is broken.
Are you comparing veterans to those who get Margaret Sanger abortions.
No, I'm comparing government service to private service.
Sorry,
So you just said that
what is
essentially
a Margaret Sanger
private.
abortion?
I'm going to glaze over that for now. Essentially, you just said the private insurance company and private healthcare would be a better system. So I'm wondering, then why don't you advocate for veterans to have private insurance rather than government funded insurance?
Because they serve their country.
Again, I don't think you're understanding the premise. I'm comparing the premise of government funded insurance versus private insurance. Do you see that?
You said government insurance was broken.
Yes,
right. So that would mean veterans insurance is broken.
Government-backed insurance
He ain't getting it.
Taxpayer-funded insurance drives up the price for those of us who pay for private insurance, because government only pays, I think, 80%. So the healthcare sector drives up their prices to make themselves profitable.
That's actually incorrect.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, if anything, private insurance companies has actually driven up the cost of healthcare prices. We can see that in a trend within the 70s where private health insurances actually started coming to be, policies started becoming more popular because we didn't have the expansion of Medicare and Medicaid. And if you look at systems like Germany, they pay not much more in taxes and actually pay less for healthcare in terms of taxes and their out-of-pocket expenses than United States citizens. And they get better healthcare.
Is Canada the same?
Yeah, we actually have a Canadian that you can talk to.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hi.
yes. Okay.
I'm Canadian. What's good?
What's the healthcare system like on the U.S. border with Canada?
On the border, I would not know that. That being said, I don't know I know there's this American notion that like Canadians are like flocking to America for healthcare, but like by the time they even like cross the border, they probably would have already like seen. Can I finish? Can I finish, Bestie? Bestie K?
Sure. If you can prove me wrong.
Time they've like crossed the border and then like gotten to a hospital, because hospitals typically aren't on like borders. They probably could have already seen a doctor and like left in Canada.
Also, one of the big reasons Canadians come over here is we just have more specialists. We have like the most specialists in the world.
Anyways,
so a lot of people come over here to see certain specialists, but that's about it. Bye, Belle.
But you would think with socialist healthcare, there would definitely be more specialists in Canada, right?
I would disagree. I think we just have more doctors. Like our doctors are specialists. I don't think it has anything to do with like the healthcare system.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it can be like elective surgeries as well.
You're sitting there at your computer where you can Google it. Google it.
It's your premise.
Has more specialists?
No.
Wait. I don't want to go down this rabbit hole because I've already presented you with the information on how Germany's system is ranked far more superior than ours in terms of healthcare.
And where
citizens
do you live?
Actually have. I'm sorry?
And where do you live?
I live in Montana.
Okay.
What did that have to do with anything?
If Germany's system is so much better, I mean, ...
What?
You're in America complaining about America.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know why I can't be critical of the system that I participate in. Like, don't you want better for yourself and for your fellow countrymen?
We also have a German. Do you want to talk to a German?
Sure.
Wait, I would like you to answer my question.
Do I want better for what I pay for? Definitely.
Do you want better for yourself and your fellow countrymen?
Those of us who pay a net, yes, definitely.
Everybody that lives here pays taxes.
Pay a net.
Why? Why do you think healthcare should be rationed and that the poor should be excluded?
Rationed? What are the wait times in these socialist countries you're talking about?
Not
It's
that
not
I'm
long.
that
sorry,
long.
what?
This is such a myth. I really want to
The
present you
wait
like
times?
from my
Oh, yeah.
German, yeah, from my German experience. I'm German. I lived in
And that was a
Germany
pivot, by the way.
for 22 years before I moved to the United States, and the wait times aren't terrible. I don't know where this notion comes from. The wait times are probably very similar to the United States. And I would argue that I think waiting in certain instances is something that people would rather do than not getting any healthcare at all. Because I could tell you, okay, well, you have to wait a day for a non-critical surgery, but you can afford it and you can actually do it before waiting one day less, but not being able to get that surgery. Like what kind of logic is that?
And what type of income tax rate?
What
Like,
type
what
of
does that
income?
mean?
That is based on like several factors. So
Okay.
it is depending on your marital status. It is dependent on whether or not you're a government employee. It is also dependent on the amount of kids you have. It is dependent on how much money you make, right? So we have more of an effective tax rate rather than just taxing like out of our, just spoiling around tax rates that make no cohesive sense. So yeah.
O- Okay, so it's from each available, or from his ability, and to each according to their need.
Are you just trying to like quote a communist phrase in order to make it like seem like that? Like that's so smart of you. Yeah,
No, I
well,
mean, do you know how private insurance works?
Yes, we pay into, as a group, those of us who pay a net, and everything else is paid out from that, from those of us who don't need it to those of us who do.
Great. And so like I don't want this to go off on like a weird tangent of socialized healthcare versus our American industry, but like having a single payer system we've seen in modern society heavily benefits this citizens as well as the system.
Also, homie
We
just
can actually
described.
see like
Homie just
doctors
described
who
how
are
socialized healthcare would work.
Uh,
Just
uh,
can't get over that.
okay, so what you're
like you must recognize that our healthcare system is designed to make money, not to actually provide healthcare for citizens.
yes, it's definitely designed to make money. Yes, obviously.
Right.
I,
So I just don't know why you would like advocate for a system that's profits over people.
what type of student debt is needed forgiven for a doctor?
that is definitely dependent on the
That's
type
a
of.
hardcore pivot.
Yeah, I know, but I really would like to answer that because in Germany, guess what? We don't have any school fees unless there's like a private university in place. And yeah, you're paying like obviously more than the socialist the socialist schools that we have all over Germany.
So,
But we are basing it off of skill based rather than just money based. So people that have a high GPA or good GPA, they're able to enter into medical school immediately. So the stakes for the state aren't as high. And those that have not as good of a GPA, they would have to wait on a waiting list in order to enter and also take like numerous tests to show their skill set that they're, able to fulfill the huge burden of medical school.
and what type of income are those people
But this is so
able to
far off
make?
the subject of abortion. I don't feel like class is in session right now, but like you must
I'm
realize that
sure. I'm
these
sure you don't.
principles.
You're literally spouting leftist things that don't work in
No,
America.
we're
I'm
talking about
sure.
facts. You realize that these type of systems were in America in the 60s. That Berkeley was free in the 60s.
Oh
That people
yes,
had access
I'm
to
100.
education, that people,
I'm
one second, that people had access to education, that people had access to healthcare, that people had access to housing. And now, because of corporate greed and inflation, those 3 points have become so unaffordable for the next generation. Like, you must realize that socialized policies were in effect in the 50s and 60s, and we had great benefit and prosperity from it, right? Like, you must like history.
Yes, I'm aware of the 60s where the socialists started taking over, especially Berkeley, the colleges.
Okay, so what is like your
When do you
contentions
want to
with
make
it?
America great again? From what
Yeah.
time period?
No, I'm not a fan of Donald Trump. He's a liberal from downtown Manhattan.
Okay, let's get back to abortion.
Hold
Do you
on.
realize the
Okay,
point
Hold
that we're
on,
trying to
okay,
Kenzie.
you
make?
don't
Wait,
want to talk
Kenzie,
about
Okay.
that.
wait. I just need to know if Donald Trump is a liberal, then who the fuck is a conservative?
Ted Cruz,
Adolf.
Adolf. What type of policies did Adolf have?
Fascist ones.
What type of policies did Adolf? Do you know which Adolf I'm talking about?
I'm assuming Hitler.
Have you heard of the political compass?
Don't pawn off on that. What type of policies
Well, I'm
did
asking you,
Adolf
have you heard
Hitler
of the
have?
political compass?
Oh,
Ted Cruz.
I've been outside of a classroom for you goofballs. So,
It's a yes or no.
That's obvious, bro.
yes or no on what?
The question I'm asking you.
It's obvious on what? You haven't debated a thing. You're sitting over there laughing like a goofball.
We provided a lot of facts. I'm sorry that you don't want to accept them. But I think we've made a good argument for why abortion should be free.
Yeah,
you mean
and also I feel like
taxpayer funded? Nothing
I feel like
Right.
you're
When we
just
say free, it's
having
free on the point of service.
I feel like
Yes,
you're just
it
having like
is.
this sheep mentality personally. Like I feel like it's like, oh, capitalism good and socialism bad because that is what the crowd, what the herd says, right? And I just
Yeah.
see that you have a leash on, and I mean that it's pretty
I have a
clear
leash on.
where that
Right.
where that leash is
Right.
coming from. And I would encourage you to
All right, so back to abortion.
expand
Right?
beyond your sheep mentality
Taxpayer
Let's
funded.
and
let's go
actually
back.
look into the
We'll
facts.
we'll go back to abortion.
Yeah, let's go.
We'll go back to abortion.
Yes,
Why is abortion bad?
Let's definitely go back to abortion.
Why is
So
abortion
exciting.
bad?
How much of what someone else earns do you leftists, are you leftists entitled to?
Yeah, so in order to participate in a society and also benefit from the outcomes of a functioning society, one has a stake in that, right? So if I go to a casino, for example, and I only play with $5,
What's the
obviously,
percentage?
yeah, if you were to let me finish my analogy, maybe
Okay, go ahead.
maybe you could like have an understanding what I'm getting at. So if I go into a casino with $5, my stake for that casino isn't that high. I'm not going to ruin the casino if I win or if I lose. But if I go in with $1 million, my stake is higher. And it is reasonable for the casino to demand a different participation rate in order for me to engage in that fun little system there. And I think we can equally apply that for our society. So if somebody is a multi-billionaire, they have a higher stake because not only do they destroy the planet, they also marginalize and oppress the individuals that are operating within that capitalistic society. So instead of that, we're just trying to advocate for a system that realizes that people have a certain responsibility for the community that they want to participate in. So effective tax rates would be implemented that create equality or equity and not a linear line of oppression and marginalization.
So you're saying your optional time going to a casino is equal to
Bro, didn't
It's an
understand. I
analogy.
didn't
tax
understand the
rates.
analogy at all.
It's an analogy.
I don't know how to make it even more
Essentially,
evident.
she's saying the more that you benefit from the system, the more you should pay back.
You mean pay? It's not pay back. They didn't make their money I
pay
was
into.
been
I would
there.
argue that like the
It
top
is payback.
1% doesn't actually earn their wealth. They exploit their workers.
Yeah, but hold on, it is even, I would say you do pay back because you are only succeeding within a capitalistic society with the exploitation of others. Unless you could show me a capitalistic society that doesn't rely on exploitation of third world countries and also the marginalized groups within the country. So can you please give me that structure without oppression happening within capitalism? Show me the fairness, please.
It's called the free market.
The
Bro,
market's not free. Are you for
Let's
open borders?
No, I'm definitely not on Twitter.
Then you're not for the free market because you wouldn't want the free labor to be restricted.
Didn't Twitter just change?
Who the fuck is talking
What?
about Twitter?
I don't know why we say a point and then you say blue.
you just
But let's
say,
get back
I
onto
know,
abortion.
you just saying like buzzwords like the free market, the capitalism, and like we can't give them our money. Like that's all you're saying, bro. Like you have
Let's just
absolutely no education behind like your ethical framework. Like you have little to no understanding how something works. Like when you are describing taxes, you just want a little bit more money. You want the gas prices to go down, but you don't have like a grasp of what a free market and an anarcho-capitalistic society actually means. I bet you're pro-military too, right? Like pro-police and all that. Like who's funding that shit? Like your taxes, obviously. Like
That is
make
a
it make sense.
constitutional.
That is
That is
socialism, my guy.
constitutional.
That is socialism,
Socialism.
and you like it.
Yeah.
let's just break down what's really important. Why are abortions bad?
It's killing another human being.
So
That's fine. If that's y'all's morals, then have at
is it always
Well,
bad to kill another human?
it. According to the law, except for abortions, yes.
Really?
what about self-defense?
What about what?
Self-defense.
Oh, I've got a 40 on my hip right now.
So
Yeah,
should Kyle Rittenhouse have gone to jail?
Nope.
Why? You
Why
said
he
you said
killed?
it's wrong to kill another human being.
Because he was attacked by rioters.
And people who are pregnant
He
are
actually
attacked by
was
a
not.
fetus.
Do what?
People who are pregnant are attacked by fetuses. They take their resources.
Do fetuses just randomly show up? Immaculate conception?
Did Kyle
What
Rittenhouse
does
just
that have to do with
randomly show
anything?
up to a riot? What the fuck's your point?
What does this have to do with anything?
Yeah. Goofball damn rebuttal.
That's not a rebuttal. We're asking you what
Yes,
does
I
that have
know
to do with
I
it?
know it's not a rebuttal. No, he was there cleaning up the community that he worked in after rioters destroyed it.
Please stay on
Ew.
topic. Please stay on topic.
Ew.
What does
I'm addressing the host.
it's the
comment.
principle. It is the principle. What does like you realize
Well,
this is gonna be so frustrating.
I mean, I think the easiest way to describe it, like if you believe that there's an obligation because you caused that pregnancy and it didn't just miraculously happen, right? Would you say that it would be fair to expect the sperm contributor to pay a service fee since the pregnant person is already kind of paying it off with her body? So that would be like the surrogacy fee would be around 90,000, depending, of course, what state you're in. So half of that would be 45,000 for each unwanted pregnancy for the men.
Again, pregnancies are not immaculate conception.
Yeah, I
Okay,
agree.
So what?
I just want to
So what?
address this really quickly. Why can't women have why can't people have abortions? What's your reasoning? Give me a very specific answer as to why you think they should not be able to have abortions.
I didn't say they couldn't have abortion. I said it's a 10th Amendment issue.
I don't think you know what that means.
Yes, 10th Amendment. Look it up.
I know what the 10th Amendment is. What's the 6th?
You mean the 4th?
No, I mean the 6th.
Kenzie's like, what's the sixth? No, you mean the fourth. No, she asked you what the sixth is. Just the
Anything
answer.
not laid out specifically in the Constitution is left to the 10th Amendment.
No, you're
Y'all,
misinterpreting that amendment.
no, I'm not. No,
Yes,
I'm
you
not.
are. Yes, you are.
Okay. So me,
Yeah,
just as
because
a
within the Federalist, within the
don't interrupt
Federalist
me.
Papers,
No. Don't interrupt me. The
what are you gonna do?
Supreme
What are you gonna do, my guy?
Court, the Supreme Court decided with me. They do not make legislation.
They
No
didn't.
shit, Sherlock. They're the judicial branch. Why would they make legislation? That's Congress.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, call him because you need him after this. Kenzie about to eat you up.
The
Do
Supreme
you think
Court.
precedent is important?
No, it's not, because they cannot legislate. It takes the Congress to make legislation.
Right. Yeah. I literally just said that 30 seconds ago. Not even 30 seconds ago, like 5 seconds ago.
Okay, so
What they're designed to do is to protect rights from government interference, which would be either at the federal or from the state level.
No. The Supreme Court decides on laws.
No, they
whether they are
don't.
constitutional or not.
They don't. That is the legislative branch. They are the judicial branch.
I said the Supreme Courts decide whether something is constitutional or not.
Correct. But you said they decide law, which is not true. They decide if law infringes on the Constitution. It essentially protects citizens' rights from government interference, whether at the federal or state level. That's what Roe versus Wade was a court
Roe
case.
versus Wade was a Supreme Court decision.
It was a
Just like
court
Dred
case.
Scott.
You recognize that, right? It was a court case challenging the Texas state laws, that Texas state law was interfering with constitutional rights, which was the right to privacy.
So it didn't go through Congress, right? Roe versus Wade did not go through Congress.
Correct.
And
It's a court case. Why would it go through Congress? It's not a bill.
Exactly. So who writes bills?
Look, this is not like an episode of like School of Rock.
No, don't defer. Who writes
I'm
bills?
not. I assure you, I think I know much more how the system works than you do, because you're saying very elementary talking points.
Okay, so
You're telling me like essentially how a bill becomes a law, and we're not even talking about the legislative branch.
Who wrote Roe versus Wade?
No one. It's a court case.
Okay, so who writes laws?
Congress.
Okay, so where does Roe versus Wade fall in Congress? Give me the law.
Roe versus Wade is a court case. It is not a bill. So therefore, it wouldn't go through Congress.
Okay.
Roe versus Wade was a court case essentially saying that the state of Texas's laws were interfering with someone's constitutional rights.
And how did the court find that?
They found that Texas was violating the citizens' constitutional rights.
Yeah.
And how
so
is
you
it,
know.
how is
you
it
know how
found
long-
now?
Yeah,
How's it
now
found
they.
now?
That's what I was asking you. In
Yeah.
law, is precedent important?
I don't know. Give me the Dred Scott decision.
What?
What is
What the-
precedent?
Dred Scott. That's
No,
precedent.
that's
Sir,
precedent.
no, please. What is precedent?
Give me the Dred Scott decision.
I will, if you tell me what precedent is.
Give me the Dred Scott
Okay,
decision.
you
Why are
are
you
just bad faith.
pivoting? Are you like trying to Google it while you're asking her? Like, just
No,
answer
I
the
know
question.
I know who
Well,
it
just
was.
answer it
It was
then.
a
Like, if it's
it was
easy.
a Democrat appointed KKK lawyer that said,
What's that pivot? What's that
No,
pivot?
tell
Answer
me,
what
tell me
precedent.
what is precedent, sir. Tell me what is precedent. If you want to talk constitution and law with me, you must know what precedent is.
Dred Scott.
I'm sorry, is that your answer?
Yes, did Dred Scott stand?
She's asking
What?
for the definition of precedent. Not what is the precedent in abortion cases.
Have no Supreme Court decisions ever been turned over?
Oh my god.
Dred Scott.
That's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you what precedent is. What is precedent?
I know you don't want to address it.
I will address it. I just want you to define this term so that I can make sure we have a baseline of understanding.
Is Google like lagging or something? You can look it up. It's been time. You've been pivoting quite a bit now. So by that time, you should have already put it in Google. Come on.
I'm waiting. No, I don't.
So okay, so I'll just do the work for you because you're a Republican and you guys don't like to work.
And apply it to Dred Scott.
So precedent is essentially previous legal decisions made.
And how is that applied to Dred Scott?
We're not talking about Dred Scott. So I'm talking about when it comes, please stop. When it comes to Roe versus Wade, 1 second. When it comes to Roe versus Wade, we saw that the essentially the Jacksonville v. Mississippi was a case that was turned over, which turned over precedent on top of precedent, which essentially delegitimized the powers of the Supreme Court and the judicial branch. Like, you must recognize that.
Okay. Put that in perspective to Dred Scott.
Can you tell me what Planned Parenthood v. Casey is?
I can tell you who Margaret Sanger is.
Can you tell me what Planned Parenthood v. Casey is?
Please tell us.
Yeah, I need a break anyway.
Who's Margaret Sanger?
You don't want to address that.
Wait, who's Margaret Sanger?
You don't want to address that precedent.
Hey,
bro, you don't address any of my talking points. You literally pivot. You say random shit. Like, there really is you don't understand analogies. You don't listen to questions. You don't respond to direct yes or no questions. Like, really, like, you must recognize this, right?
Yes, I got you.
Like, you must realize that we have put your ass in your hand. Like, we have handed you your ass.
Who's Margaret Sanger anyway?
She's the founder of Planned Parenthood. She was a
racist.
So
what did she think about abortion? Do you think she was like pro-choice or pro-life?
Does anybody want to quote her for me?
No, I want to know. Like, is she like, because I'm just a socialist German, so I don't really know much about her. So maybe you could answer if she's like, yeah, also a woman. Like, maybe you could like answer if she's like pro-choice or pro-life.
Ooh. Anybody want to answer for her?
We're asking
no,
you.
I'm asking you.
Why are you even here? Why? You're not debating. We ask you questions and then you're like, you want to answer for me?
I'll answer the question. Margaret Sanger was vehemently pro-life and thought abortion was one of the most disgusting things a mother could do.
She founded Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood didn't even start doing abortions until 10 years after she died, my G.
Give me a quote from her.
What year did she die?
What the fuck? You want to quote from her on abortions? Sure.
No, I want to quote from you on her, or from her on the black race.
Are you going to talk? Because he's going to talk about the fucking out of context letter that she wrote, where she said,
"Oh my God,
we do not want word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population." Do you have somewhere you
need to be?
So Margaret Sanger was a vehement civil rights activist. She worked very closely with Martin Luther King Jr. on the Negro Project. So I don't know what your claims are that she's racist.
Give me the quote.
What
quote?
What I'm
talking about.
What you tell me the quote then, my G? Tell me the quote.
Hold on. This is not how it works, right? Like, when you have like some form of contentions with like a individual and what they stand for, and we are the opposition, right? Like you would have to provide us with like sufficient evidence and maybe even apply some reasoning to the quote on top of that so we can get an understanding why we should also, by your standard, hate Margaret Sanger.
He knows what I'm talking about.
Well, no, see, this is the
Can you
thing.
tell me what state you're in?
Georgia.
So just so we
Okay.
can I'll just fucking answer every question because he doesn't want to. The quote he's talking about is a specific quote that she wrote in a letter. The quote says, "We do not want word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population." That was a specific letter written to a doctor about the Negro population. But if you look at the context of her quote, she's saying that she doesn't want people to misunderstand what they're doing as trying to exterminate the Negro population, when what they were trying to do was get comprehensive birth control out to black people, because her and Martin Luther King Jr., motherfucker, both agreed that birth control was necessary for the black community because an unwanted pregnancy would signify further poverty for an already impoverished group. Go ahead now. What's your rebuttal to that?
You informed me of something.
There we go.
Yeah,
I
and
feel you've
also
learned a lot today.
Planned
Yeah.
Planned
How many- how-
Parenthood.
how
Planned
many
Parenthood
members-
isn't. Sorry.
they-
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, even like we even have like many quotes how Planned Parenthood does not want to be associated with Margaret Sanger, even so. Like,
I'm
regardless.
sure they wouldn't.
Yeah, but
It's
The
mostly
reason
because
being
she didn't like
she's
disabled
pro-life.
people. That's about it.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
and
mainly for
it-
eugenics.
and it's also because she was like drastically pro-life, and
Vehemently
Planned
pro-life.
Parenthood is pro-choice, right? So
Kinda
they
like
do
Roe.
offer. I'm sorry.
I said kind of like Roe.
Like
Roe.
Roe v. Wade.
Who's Roe?
He's,
Who's
no,
Roe?
he's talking
Who's Roe
about.
and Roe v.
Hold
Wade?
on, I can't wait for this. Are you talking about
Please.
specifically Jane Roe, the woman who was
The
Yes.
daughter?
paid, the woman
No,
who was
that's
who
not her
on
real
her
name.
deathbed, the woman who on her deathbed in a fucking documentary that has video of her admitting this, literally said that she was paid by pro-life people to change her stance and target the pro-choice community, and that she shouldn't have done it, and she regrets it on the day she died. That Jane Roe? Come
I've
on,
never
my
heard
G.
that. That's not a real name, but
You want her real name was Norma McCorvey. You want me to play the clip of her admitting it? I can play the fucking clip.
Please don't.
I can
We've
really
seen
play
it
the
so
clip.
many times.
I can play the clip of her literally
I know you
going,
can,
I had a
Dusty.
bunch of uber evangelical Christian pro-lifers paid her to lie about the reason that Roe v. Wade happened. Paid her to lie about it.
play it.
Oh my god.
Why can't you just give him the link?
No,
Well,
play it.
see,
not as-
the
play it.
thing
It's
is,
not as
the thing
fun.
is about pro-life and pro-choice. I think you should have like a position, regardless of the Constitution, and also pro-life, or Margaret Sanger,
No,
or Planned
no,
Parenthood.
not
Hold on,
regardless
really
of
quick.
Constitution. It's
Hold
the
on,
Yeah,
really
because
supreme
that's
law
just
of
an
the
appeal to legality, guy.
Hold on, I just really want to elaborate. Like, if I were to find like a country that doesn't have a constitution, would you say that they're
That's
morally
not America. Don't
Sure.
That's not
Yeah,
America.
exactly. So
It's
maybe
America.
maybe we should like expand our philosophical reasoning
Hence-
beyond like what the
Hence,
law
everybody
is.
that's in
Maybe-
America complaining.
Hold on.
Yeah,
I'm
so
gonna
we-
play this real quick. I just want us all to enjoy this really
We-
quickly.
I don't
Of
enjoy
course.
it.
I was the big fish.
I was the big fish.
Give it a second.
Do you think they would say that you used them?
Well, I think it was a mutual thing. You know, I took their money and they put me out in front of the cameras and told me what to say, and that's what I'd say.
Wow.
There you go.
I
There you
took their
go.
money.
Her
I didn't
admitting to
hear.
taking
I-
pro-life money.
I didn't hear.
Well, I'm not playing it again.
You can look it up in your free time.
Again, it doesn't support any kind of argument you've made. Like, you literally, the only argument you've made is killing bad. And yet you
Yeah.
support self-defense.
We just like want more, right? Because if you find abortion only immoral in America, but every other country can do whatever they want because they don't have a constitution. That sounds like to me that you don't really have a reason other than just like what you feel like confident with and comfortable with. But I would love for you to go beyond that and just like expand your mind a little bit into substantiating like what you believe in and what you stand for.
Oh, I find it immoral. I mean, they cut people's heads off in other countries.
Why is that? Because
Why is
regardless of
abortion immoral?
regardless of a constitution being there, you would still say, well, I don't find that immoral, or I don't find that moral in that instance. So maybe you can give us a better explanation.
Chat is killing me.
I definitely find it immoral, but
Why?
I don't live
Why?
there. It's not my problem.
No, why?
Why is it immoral?
I really need to explain why cutting another person's head off is immoral.
No, why
but-
abortion is immoral.
I mean, the other one we can probably agree to, right? Like, that's not that hard because we can all like agree on the reasoning, but you haven't given us a reasoning why abortion is immoral. Like, maybe you could give us one.
Because in my mind, it's a life. And according to abortion providers that sell the body parts, that's a life.
Source?
Can I ask you something? This is a genuine question.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were wrong about the Margaret Sanger thing, and you were wrong about the Jane Roe thing. Like, these are two things that you had a very clear idea. Hold on.
You haven't shown me where I was wrong about Roe.
Okay, just you can Google the
Roe?
It's a whole documentary.
You're
that came
wrong
out
about a lot.
with her, the woman. So you can just watch the documentary. But these are two things that you had a very strong belief in your head about that you're wrong about. Is it possible you could be wrong about these other things, like the selling of body parts? Is it possible that you could also be wrong about this stuff?
Yeah. Like, just like a probability, like how sure are you about that statement? Like, how likely is that to be true? Would you say 100%, 99%? Like, what are we working with?
How sure of what? I'm sorry.
That
That they sell body parts.
Yeah, like I would like to know like how sure you are about that one.
Yeah, you're a betting man. How much money would you put on it?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I got like $350.
Okay, so you'll bet me $350 that you're correct.
$3.50.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that
doesn't sound really
wow.
sure.
You're saying this with your full chest, then.
Let me tell you, I'm just poor as it gets, and I would put my whole bank account on that one. That it's not true.
He was just making a South Park reference.
Thank you.
So can you tell me, under 13 weeks, if a person has an abortion 13 weeks pregnant, like, what percentage of abortions is that? 13 weeks and less.
You tell me. My state has the law per the 10th Amendment at 20
I'm
weeks.
just asking you, like, let's say prior to Roe v. Wade being overturned, what percentage of abortions would you say fall in the first trimester?
Is that 13 and a half weeks?
It's 13 weeks, yeah.
13 weeks? I have no clue, to be honest with you.
Do you think it's like a lot or a little?
I have no clue.
So you couldn't even, like, could you just give me a guess? Like, what do you think it is?
A lot. Per my
What's
brother.
a lot? What's a lot? Give me a number.
Per my brother, what is it?
Under 13 weeks would be a lot.
Under 13 weeks? Well, it would be legal in most conservative states.
I'm just asking you, what percentage? Just give me a number. What, between 0 and 100?
Hold on, I got to Google.
No, just give me a guess. I know the answer. You don't need to Google it.
Like, we just want to see how close you are to the reality of abortion. Like, how much of an understanding you have of reality.
So at states that have 20 weeks laws, I'm still waiting for the number. So states that have 20-week laws, it wouldn't be a problem, right?
I really want to walk you through this premise, or through this idea here. So again, I'll do the work for you. So 93% of abortions happen prior to 13 weeks. So you would say that's more than the majority. Like, that is the majority.
My little brother Googled it. It's 95.
95. Great. So 95 out of 100 happen 13 weeks or less.
Okay.
Can you tell me how big a fetus is at 13 weeks gestation?
I know the heartbeat law at 20.
Heartbeat law was at 6, but again,
Not my state.
that's irrelevant.
Not my state.
That's irrelevant. Can you tell me how big a fetus is at 13 weeks?
Why does it matter?
What does it matter is what he says.
Because you're saying that they're selling body parts. And I'm wondering who they're selling body parts to.
You're talking about later stage abortions.
So you are talking about
Later
very
stage
rare
abortions,
instances.
They absolutely do fucking abort fetuses. and they
Hold on.
absolutely do sell body parts.
Hold on. I'm gonna let him. He's a California resident. Big liberal state. Come on.
Later stage abortions, they absolutely do abort fetuses, and they absolutely do sell body parts.
Start over.
They absolutely do sell body parts.
I'm asking you,
There's
is this
been
a rare
multiple
occurrence or is
independent
this a
journalists
prevalent
who-
occurrence?
Do what?
Is this a rare occurrence or is this a prevalent occurrence?
It's prevalent enough that there has been businesses built around the buying and selling of these body parts. So I would say it's
What
pretty
business?
prevalent.
What
I'm
business?
sorry?
What business?
I don't know the names of the businesses. This is not my fucking expertise, but I
Then how do
absolutely.
you know there's a business? I mean, you're
Because
telling
there's-
me it's so
listen to what I'm
prevalent there's a
saying. Shut up for a
business.
second. Listen to
What
I'm
is
saying.
the utility of it? That's what we want to know. Like,
There's
what are
been
those body
independent-
parts?
Baby, wait,
I'm just gonna act like
aborted
you're not talking.
baby.
There's been
Can you
independent
give me
journalists
one
that
source?
have posed as these buyers and have
Wait.
went in and filed paperwork as a business, buying and selling these body parts, and went in and bought from these abortion clinics before, and
For
then
what?
exposed these. And then exposed
Oh
these
my god,
clinics.
bro, he's talking about live action.
So for what?
Oh my God!
talking
You
about
realize?
what?
You realize? Wait! You realize that the White House, or excuse me, you realize that that has been like heavily debunked, right? That you are literally spouting pro-life propaganda.
Yeah, the black market doesn't exist.
When if a black market does exist, that would be an illegal transaction, and we would all be against something that is illegal, right? But you would have to give us some form of source that substantiates that there is actually an issue, that body
Hold on.
parts are being sold. And then if you would even give me another little drip of information, please tell me, what are the utility of aborted fetuses?
If it was a black market, it obviously wouldn't be on the books.
Right. So if there is like a source that you could reference me to that shows that body parts are being sold on the black market, then I would say, yeah, we should probably ensure that that shouldn't happen. But could you please tell me
No.
what is
Don't
the
do it. Don't do it. No. Don't do
Please,
it.
can
Don't
you
do it.
please explain to me?
Let me
Can you
say
please
one
explain
line,
to
that's
me?
it.
Hold on.
I would really like to know. I
Are
would really
organs
like to
bought
know.
and sold? Are
Mhm.
organs bought and sold?
If it was on the black market, you wouldn't have a record of it.
Are organs
Wait,
bought and sold?
wait.
Yes or
So
no?
that's
Are
different
organs
than
bought
what
and
your
sold?
brother just said. Your brother said that this is a profiting business and there are businesses organized around it, and yet he can't provide any.
Yes. Have you ever heard of human trafficking and stuff?
What?
This
Your
is the most
claim,
ridiculous
your original claim is
argument.
that Planned Parenthood is selling body parts from abortions.
Why was Planned Parenthood?
Oh, you're pivoting.
No, what,
It's not
what
a
are they
pivot. I
used
just
for?
told you what you said, bro. Q has such a hold on you, my G.
What are they used for? What is the utility?
I'm
What
sorry.
can you
It's
what
it's
can
a
you do?
black market.
Sure. If
thing.
there is like a
They
black
prefer
market.
African American markets, by the way.
So if you if you have like if you tell me that there's a black market where drugs are being sold, I can have like a reasonable explanation why those drugs are being sold and what the utility of that is. But I cannot see any form of utility from selling aborted fetuses unless you can provide me with an instance where people could use aborted fetuses in any sort of way. Maybe you can explain that to me.
Stem cell research would be one.
Stem cell research is a good thing.
Or my brother.
That's a good thing. That wouldn't be like in a black market. What?
Yeah, they wouldn't be selling like organs.
So what? Okay, when in the instance of stem cell research, right? Like, who does stem cell research? Is it like Uncle Joe in the basement, or is it, if there is like a more of a medical institution that is like probably funded by the government that would conduct such researches?
I can 100% guarantee Uncle Joe in the basement is not. He can't even make a complete sentence.
Right,
So,
because
oh my God, oh my
Uncle
God.
Joe wouldn't have like the medical equipment to utilize such stem cells. So you would have to tie to me how like government funded research institutions would get a hold of black market aborted fetuses. Like, maybe you can tie that connection to me.
And who are they selling organs to? Like, who? No one needs baby livers.
Kenzie, I do, okay? Like, mind your business. I have a shopping problem.
Yeah, what's the purpose of selling fetus body parts? What would even be the purpose?
Your guess is as good as mine.
For real. It's almost like it's useless, right?
I'm tapping out. Like, I need some modicum level of like sentience to have this conversation. Like, sir, I'm borderline not
Kenzie,
giving you any moral consideration.
Kenzie, do some online shopping. Maybe you can find some aborted fetuses.
I know what I'm getting you for Christmas now.
Thank
Chair.
you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Is it like maybe they use it like as dolls or something? I don't know.
It's obviously for like youth formula and stuff. Like,
Is this really what like the
anti-wrinkle.
right does? They like take that like tissues are donated to like research facilities to try and find out like why stillbirths happen, and that they do like stem cell research off of like discarded organic material, and they like come to the conclusion that organizations are selling baby parts. Like, that is that really what the right does?
That's been proven.
Quick question, my dude.
It
Do you
has been.
think
Wait. Give me your source. Give me your source before I leave.
Wait, Kenzie, you're gonna stay for this because this is. I promise you, this is gonna be good. Quick question, my dude.
Do you think have some mac and cheese?
Do you think anybody that puts money into a company that like uses fetal tissue and fetal cells for research, do you think those people are bad people?
I don't. Come again?
Like, if somebody is funding a company that uses stem cells and fetal, like that uses dead fetuses as like research on and stuff, do you think those people are bad people?
Dead children? No, not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
If they're
you're not
consistent. If they're sold on a black market that has been proven by quote unquote not journalists, yeah.
So if it's sold on the white market, then it's okay?
No. Not in my opinion anyway.
Okay.
Sir, how far did you make it in grade school?
I'm a taxpayer, so I think I dropped out in 11th grade, a net taxpayer.
Okay, that checks.
So wait. So it is bad if somebody even buys stem cells like in an okay way. Even that's bad. That's what you just said.
I don't think that was what was happening in the so-called undercover.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about in general. If someone buys stem cells to use in research in like a company that they have money in, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
If they were buying it during legitimate research, yeah.
Look, this is a yes or no, like multiple choice. So you said yes.
Yes or no? Yes or no, multiple choice. I don't think that those who are not considered journalists that did the research on this were buying it under regulated circumstances.
I got nothing. Never mind. I got nothing.
The Center for Medical I just want to point out this one fact that I think might be helpful for you. The Center for Medical Progress, which recorded and edited the video that you're referencing, says the footage proved that Planned Parenthood is breaking the law by selling fetal organs. But the video does not show anyone explicitly talking about selling organs.
I disagree. I'm pretty sure I've seen the non-journalists doing that.
No, nowhere specifically. They talk about fetal tissue, which again, fetal tissue is shared with biotech firms for research purposes, but not actual organs.
What's the definition between tissue and organs? Because I know liberals say that a child is just a fetus.
Well, you oh my God.
Bro, if it wasn't for talking to
Maybe you
his
should have
brother,
gone
I
to
would
12th
really
grade.
think this was a troll.
No, I'm honestly having a conversation with y'all.
I wouldn't consider
I
this a
know, but
conversation.
it's very frustrating how you have such these like what seem to be very strong opinions about abortion, and you know so very little about the process of pregnancy and the actual like anything. Like how do you really like tell yourself that I should restrict this healthcare for people when I know nothing about it?
Because I had a couple stepchildren for a couple years that a certain woman took from me, and they were children to me. They were never fetuses or whatever the hell y'all want to call them.
Okay, so
they
let
were
me ask
fetuses
you.
at one point. What?
If someone is brain dead and is hooked to a machine, would it be immoral to turn off that machine?
So they were humans up until that time, right?
Yes.
Okay, so they were not self-sustainable.
No, they were a person just like you, just like Jovan. They got into an accident. They are now brain dead and hooked to machines just to continue respiration and the bodily processes. Is it immoral to turn off those machines?
I guess that's a question that you or me or whoever decides with God.
I would like your framework. That's why I'm asking you. Is that right or is that wrong?
I've never experienced that, and nor have I ever made that choice.
I'm aware of that, but based on your understanding of what is right and what is wrong, is it wrong to turn off the life support for someone who is brain dead?
Well, apparently, since you agree that those are the exact same thing, then that is left to you and your God.
I'm asking you for your morality here because that's what we're discussing. You're telling me that abortion is wrong because it's killing a child. So I'm asking you, in this specific scenario, is it moral to turn off the machine, life support machine, for someone who is brain dead? Do you have any questions surrounding the scenario that I'm giving you?
I honestly wouldn't do that, but I honestly wouldn't abort a child either.
So when someone is brain dead, you realize that they will never become conscious again, correct? That they will never that they will never wake up.
Yes, I
Yes.
100% agree that there's a chance they will never become conscious again. Is
No,
that
they
the
will
same?
never. They will never become conscious again.
Whoa. Is that the same thing with a child?
I'm asking. Well, we'll get to that in a second. I'm trying to really pinpoint your morality in this scenario because this is a really important point when discussing abortion.
If they're brain dead and there's no chance of them waking up, then it shouldn't matter.
If they're brain dead and there's no chance of them waking up, is that the same thing as killing an unborn child?
Dude, do you want us to just debate your brother?
Oh, he's here. He's
I know
feeding
he
me,
is. I can
but
hear him
anyway.
telling you
So
what to say.
answer my question first. Answer my question first, and then I'll answer yours. Is it moral to turn off life support to someone who is brain dead?
I'm gonna give it to my brother since y'all want to ask.
We're asking you, but okay.
He would.
This is your second lifeline.
Wait,
by the way. You only
wait
get
a
one
minute. Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. All of y'all. No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. He's California from San Francisco. Finish it. Here. He don't want to talk to you.
That sounds about right.
Shocker. So are you going to answer us or no?
Did I not already?
It's a yes or a no. So I'll ask it one more time. You have
Okay.
one of two choices, yes or no. Is it moral to turn off life support for someone who is brain dead?
Compared to.
No, this is yes or no. There's only two options you have.
You don't want to compare to that, do you?
I will compare it to it, but I would like to know, is it moral to turn off life support for someone who is brain dead? This is a yes or no answer. It is very simple.
According from a accident or something?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, but not just because they're not born.
Sir, why is this such a difficult question for you to answer?
Laugh it up, fucker.
I am. It's very funny.
Yeah, it's not
Sir,
moral.
like I'm literally
It's
asking you the
not-
most elementary
Shut up, bitch.
question.
It's
Ooh,
not moral.
there we go.
It's not moral to kill an unborn child.
That's not the question I
Ban
asked
me
you,
if you
sir.
want. Ban me
No,
if you
I
want.
don't need to ban you. Like, you think you're a
Not
big
you,
man
you
calling me a
can't.
bitch?
You're not the host.
Yes,
No,
you
I'm
can.
the
You
I'm a
can
mod
vote. You
though.
can ban
No,
any
it is
person
I'm
you
a
want.
mod
not
though, so I can
moral
fucking kick
to
your
kill
ass.
an
But you
unborn
think like
child.
you're a big man calling me a bitch? Like, bro, what? Like, what are you gonna do?
Like, bro. No,
You just
it
showed
is
me
not
like
moral
how
to kill an unborn child.
that's not what I asked you. Would you like to go get a paper and a pen and write down the question that I'm asking you and then write
It
yes
is
or no
not
underneath it?
moral to kill an unborn
Why?
child.
Why?
There's
What
your
if the unborn
answer.
child has a gun?
Why? Wait, no, why? Tell me why.
Because it's an unborn child.
That's circular. That's circular. God, I have debated probably over 500 people on this app, and I don't think I have ever talked to someone so stupid.
Okay.
Like, you really, like, do you have a library card, sir?
No, it's 2022.
Do you have Kindle? I mean, I know, like,
Okay, so it's moral, in your opinion, to kill an unborn child.
prior to 24 weeks, yes.
Okay, that's fine. That's your opinion.
Well, but see, the difference between my opinion and your opinion is that I can actually provide substantiation to it and reasoning behind it. You're
Okay.
just like some hillbilly who doesn't read and calls people names on the internet because he can't hang.
No, she ain't worth talking to. Okay, so does your state support that?
Does it matter? Like, what's your, why?
10th Amendment.
Oh my fucking god,
Can
you're
you
so
like
dumb.
like literally, bro? Like
Jesus.
I don't know how
How
you get
about
through life.
hey homie, how about the 14th Amendment? What's the 14th Amendment say?
It was one of the civil rights amendments the Republicans passed.
I'll say it to you again. I'll just read it for you. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States. Do you know what one of our privileges were? You know what a privilege
Life,
that we earn?
liberty, and the
Do you know
pursuit
what?
of happiness.
Do you know what? Do you
Hey,
know what one of our
moron, that's from the
liberties are?
Declaration of Independence. It's not the Constitution.
Do you know what a privilege that we had was? Abortions. Do you know what states made a law enforcing to remove the privilege of? Abortions.
What?
You also have the privilege
where?
not to have to be
Where?
What are you
Where?
talking about? Where? Texas
Where?
was one of the states.
Where is the right to an abortion?
I just read you. We have certain privileges. One of those privileges is to not have to be a parent. What about the 9th Amendment? What about the 9th Amendment? You ever read that one?
Do you know how you not become?
Well, he got banned.
He got live.
Didn't he?
He got community guidelines violated.
Shocker.
Who would have seen that coming?